All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another ladder cast. We've got a couple of great players here for just a single game. Motive over in the top right-hand corner. And we got Effort over in the bottom left. A little bit busy lately, hanging out with Herbmon over in Osaka last couple of nights and chatting to him about about ZVP, excuse me. And he had some interesting things to say. If you guys don't know him, he's a Twitch streamer, streams primarily Starcraft Broodwar, and has done a little casting himself in the past. He's done a lot of competing over the years in different tournaments, been to a lot of these lands, and competed in BSL and that sort of thing. He's about S or high A rank generally, and we were talking some hand-me-down knowledge that he was passed down a long time ago. He was saying that when you're playing ZVP, if the Protoss player is building a lot of units early, like a lot of zealots, and teching later, then you should do the opposite. You should be teching quicker, getting into lurkers or getting into mutas, and building up that unit count a little bit later on, focusing on your economy and tech. And if the Protoss player is building a lot of Corsairs, going really quickly into DTs, Templar, that sort of thing, and teching quickly, then you should be doing the opposite as well. Going into lots of units and being aggressive while getting your economy out and teching a little bit later on. So I'm trying to take that to heart. I'm trying to notice that now in my casting and thinking about that a little bit more. And also awesome guy, by the way. Just hanging out with him over the last days. It was great. Always fun to hang out with somebody who knows about Broodwar, man. It is a different experience, that's for sure. I love hanging out with my friends who don't know anything about Broodwar, but when you get together with another good buddy, a good person who enjoys the same thing, and you guys can talk about Broodwar and the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, and the games, the ASL, or whatever you guys decide to talk about. It's just a lot of fun, so definitely recommend going to some of those LAN parties, those sort of things. You can meet some of those types of people. Now, we've got a Zealot opener. We've got a Gateway opener here from Motive. Effort did go for an overpool, and he's gotten into his gas now. And so we'll likely see a layer out of him here in a moment. Just continue to pump out those drones here. He's actually got more than 100 gas, so he goes for a metabolic boost. Now, metabolic boost is going to allow him to put on quite a bit of pressure. He could try to go for a Ling all in. We see two Zealots moving out on the map, and that's been spotted by Effort. He knows that those are coming, so he will have to make a couple more groups of Lings. He's actually hiding back a few Lings over inside his main already. Those Zealots are making their way over. Oh, he pulled one off of gas. I think that, if Motive sees that, he's going to know that there's not a lot of gas being mined here, and that we're going to end up seeing quite a lot of Lings potentially coming out here. Pretty good micro so far from Motive, but there's a few too many Lings overall to deal with. And he's going to send this probe back home, start that photon cannon, or start at least the forge here on the way so he can get that photon cannon here shortly. But he went for Cybercore before that forge, so his cannon will be a little bit slower. Doesn't know if there's a lot of Lings being produced behind this with that speed coming online, or if there's going to be a big transition. And in fact, it will be the transition. All drones underway and hatcheries being added. So Effort looking powerful right now, looking scary, like he could Ling all in. But that is not his idea for the moment. Get that Zealot. Oh, Zealot just barely tucking itself in between there. Tries to come out for a stab, but now that he sees the Ling speed is online, he's got to be very careful. Oh, that Zealot almost gets fully surrounded. Yeah, you can make a little wall right here. And it's a little bit easier to move over and start to hit those Zerglings. We'll stop that pressure for now, and the cannon finishes up, so he is absolutely fine. I heard this was an awesome game, so this should be a lot of fun. We might see a long game on Eclipse. That is a big possibility. We could see like a mine out situation even. That would be awesome too. Most of those, like, people say 10 out of 10 games. Generally, we see long games for those 10 out of 10 games. There are some great, very quick games. Like, we had a really good game between Zealot and Mong in the last KCM that was only about maybe 15 minutes long, but it was crazy good because it's so high octane. Those are the two types of games that I love the most. Definitely the super high octane early game, those fast games, or alternatively, those great long games where things really come down to the wire at the very end of the day. Overlord's going to end up going down here. Looks like he's not targeting the second Overlord, the Overlord over his natural. And Lynx could run by, but there's 2 cannons there, so I think all of them would end up dying unless there was some lucky miss shot on the ramp or something like that. Get maybe 1 Ling in. So he's just going to focus on killing some Overlords here. Effort a little bit late on his Hydra production. He was really trying to maximize drones and hatcheries during this time, so he kind of missed out a little bit on the Hydra production. Oh, what a great evolution chamber. Just a perfect evolution chamber morph there. Look at these Zealots. If they were able to get right on top of the Hydras immediately, it would be a disaster. But he's managed to, with just making that evolution chamber there, force the Zealots to go around. And that actually allows the drone drill to counter it very well. This is some excellent Zerg play, honestly. He cut right up until the very last second. He cut as much as he possibly could while still being safe and defended with the absolute bare minimum. Now going to come out with a very strong Hydra push and move himself towards that 45 workers. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take a 4th base here pretty soon too. Layer is on the way. He's still got the Overlord over the natural, so he can kind of push the issue here. Gotta add a lot of cannons right now. If he had stayed and killed the Overlord over the natural, he could just make 1 DT, and he wouldn't lose either of these buildings. So that's a bit of a mistake for Motive, I feel. He was poking around. He maybe got 1 more Overlord over in this 3rd base, and eventually he will get this Overlord, but losing these 2 buildings is quite costly. A lot more costly than that 1 Overlord for the Zerg. Because he's got so many hatches so quickly. He's going to be 100% fine. 6 hatch already on the way. Of course, they're still looking for some damage. Not really going to find too much. You can see the overall drone count here is looking very solid. Only 2 more drones needed for this location. He's going to go ahead and get those online now. He's actually going above and beyond that full saturation. So getting up to 50 drones already. This is where it can get a little bit hard to spend all your money. Looks like he's going to go ahead and transition now. Oh, Spire on the way. Okay. I didn't realize he didn't start that yet. So he gets the 6 hatch, then he gets Spire with 50 drones. And he starts Lurker aspect as well. Interesting. Okay. Going for all of these things at the same time. I still think this might be a transition into Queen's Nest here shortly. There's the Dark Templar. Looking for anywhere it can be aggressive. A little bit of a dangerous spot right here. If Corsairs come in, they could definitely kill that 1 Overlord, and then the DT can get in. But for now, instead, he's just going to focus on trying to deny the 4th base. Sending Zealots down here to look for that. 1 Hydra denies the 3rd of Motive. Gonna get the kill on this. Oh, it's pretty close. Can he get the DT? He does kill the DT. That DT needed to run away. Gotta keep something active on the map to just slow down the Zerg ever so slightly. At least force the Overlord to be sent over there and clear up that DT before taking yet another base. But if you Templar here at the entrance, are we going to see a big round of Mutas? No, it looks like pure Lurker is going to be the choice here from Effort. He knows that his opponent is teching up. Lurker egg being made right there is a little bit funny. I don't know if that'll actually finish. Could come out and storm that, or even just send the Dragoons over here to kill this. Looks like he may not end up doing that, and the Lurker might get away for free. Another Lurker egg over here, just kind of blocking the expansion for the time being. Lurker gonna go out in front. He knows there's Small likelihood of a observer being out this early, so can kind of deny just a tiny bit. Would be really cute if he kept the Overlord here. That's not going to happen. If he kept an Overlord with some Scourge here, try to snipe that first observer. And just kind of delay things a little bit longer. If he could keep like 2 or 3 lurkers in front and keep sniping the observer, that just delays the probe transfer. Small group of Hydras making its way over here. I guess that's maybe 24 Hydras. Not enough to break up this ramp. Unless there's no storm. Hey, with no storm, it gets a little dicey. Looks like he will push out here. Going after the Templar. Oh, keeps it alive. Very important that he keeps that Templar alive right now. He's got about 4 storms to utilize. Running forward here. Can he actually get the kill on one of these Templar? He does get the one, but won't get a second. Dragoons are all that's left on the high ground here. Doing a pretty good job of fighting this back, and with the reinforcements coming up, looks like he will push everything away, but it was a bit of a scary moment there as effort was really shoving in. As the double upgrades rolling now. No Queen's Nest just yet, but with this extra base coming online, he can definitely afford to go that direction now. Want to get into Hive sooner rather than later, I would say. Getting up into that tech is pretty necessary when you have so many locations to defend. Like on Eclipse, you kind of have to defend, you know, this area. You have to defend up here. You kind of have to defend here, and you have to defend here as well. It can get a little bit dicey in that sort of situation. Really wanted to get the Observer there because these Lurkers on high ground can get a lot more value that way. Instead, just going to run away with the Lurkers. Try to preserve them. Keep them alive for this defense over at the 4th base. And a 4th base for Motive going to be taken as well. Both players keeping vision over the bases in the bottom right. Neither player able to establish those just yet. Moving in towards this open area. Lurkers are not in position to defend this, and so Effort may have a hard time, especially with some of his forces down in bottom right trying to save that trying to clear out that location, excuse me. Big army pushing in here. What do we have? 3 Templar, 4 Templar in this army. Big storms there on the upper part of this army. The lower part is doing a pretty good job of cleaning out Dragoons, though, and not a lot of storms went down on these Hydras here to the south, and so the next round of Hydras is going to continue to push forward. There is still another storm available. As he backs up here, this would be a great storm right there. Can he actually get it? He does, but great dodge by Effort, kind of preempting that. Running away with the Dragoons now. Has a few Templar on the defensive. This one's going to have another storm here in just a few seconds. Can he actually get that off? Looks like he will. That storm turns out pretty good, getting about 6 Hydra kills there at the tail end of that fight. Gonna move forward, start to throw down a few more storms. We're getting into kind of dangerous territory here with Effort having 1,600 minerals in the bank right now. I'd like to put down 3 hatches at this 3rd base to try and eat up some of that mineral income. And also, oh my gosh, I think he threw down the Queen's Nest and it didn't make. You can see right here. Effort, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know that that never made. And he's going to be in a lot of trouble if that doesn't get started here pretty soon. Finally going to throw that down. Here at the 14-minute mark, a lot of the times you're going to have Defilers at that 14-minute mark. If we watch players like Action, for example, Soul Key, when they really go into this late game Zerg play, 14 minutes, they're going to have a Defiler out with Consume a lot of the time. So running forward here, going to kill a few Observers. Nicely done. 2 Observers and the 3rd is almost dead. That really cuts down on the ability for the Protoss to push when you've got these Lurker positions everywhere. I don't know if he can hold this base and the natural at the same time. So, you know, if Motive realizes that there is a lot of defense down here, he might go towards the natural. That can be a real pain in the butt as a Zerg player. This map is quite difficult to defend all of the different bases. The rotations from Protoss can really hurt you. There we go. He sees the army up here on the high ground. He knows that there's a lot of forces up down there. Now, does he want to try to break this position, or will he move to another location? All right, big spread of lurkers here in the middle now. Hive is on the way, albeit a bit late. Probe tries to get up here. Unfortunately, 2 Hydras waiting are going to be able to deny that. Big problem with Effort's play right now is he doesn't have a Nidus Canal down here. And so it's going to be much harder to hold this base. He's actually got to start moving army over to surround this. Send army to here and send army to here. Get ready for the big surround to actually try and break this. Make some lurker eggs on the ramp. Try to delay things. Not a good enough lurker egg to prevent the zealots from running up, but the zealots are coming up here pretty slowly, and so he's taking quite a bit of time to break this. It's giving more opportunities for the big surround to come through. You really do want to block and then surround. If you allow the Protoss to get up on the high ground and then try to bring the army in, it's not going to go too well for you. Targeting on Dragoon there, not on the Templar. And it looks like the army's going to come in a little bit too late. You can see a lot of this stuff is on the high ground. Maybe he still catches the majority of it on the low ground, though. This is quite the battle. A lot of chaos going on here. Big storms are going to come down on these lurkers as they try to advance forward. There's still a couple of observers in this fight, and it looks like Motive is going to actually win this little battle here, potentially shutting down this base. If he just runs up here, he may end up losing the whole army, but I think he will be able to shut down the hatchery. Hold up. That sunken colony finished. There's still a lurker over here, and another wave of units makes its way forward. Effort doing a great job of rallying, really eating up that bank and just slamming units into this army. Looks like he is actually going to clear this out, and he gets the very important kills on a lot of these High Templars and Dragoons, kind of the core part of the army, even without adrenal glands. It's very impressive. Throwing everything into that attack, and he makes it work. Looks like Motive going to back off for now, potentially try to take this high ground. Haven't seen a probe get sent down here just yet. Gonna send some zealots over to top left. And Hydras are making their way over to the 4th base. Just a small little poke. If he can potentially run up, maybe snipe a Templar or two, maybe bait some storms. That's good enough as well. Running forward here. Can he get a Templar? No, just gonna have to back off for now. High ground being taken. High ground being secured. Over here by Motive. We'll build a bunch of cannons here. 1,600 minerals. Might as well build a whole lot of cannons up on that high ground. 5-6 cannons with some zealots and a High Templar. We'll defend that very, very well. Hatchery over in top left. All right, these are the most exciting PvZ games we see on Eclipse, is where the Protoss and Zerg each have one of these bases, and then they're both fighting for the top left. That's where it really comes down to the wire. You also end up seeing like Guardians here fighting against the cannons and trying to break into these spots. That might be the direction we're headed. Big upgrade coming through, the ventral sacks on the way. Also got some little counterattacks moving through. Fighting with these small groups of army. Just trying to pick off whatever you can. A Templar here, an Archon there. Observer snipes are always good as well. Finally, Defilers are out. 19 minutes in, though. It's feeling a little late. Plague will be coming online here shortly. We've got 2-1 armor, 2 armor, 1 attack on the Lings. So they're actually going to do quite well here in this next fight. +2 only for the Zealots. +3 armor, but it's really the attack upgrades that need to stay ahead of the Zerg armor. This is our Zerg Carapace. Here's that loadout. He's managing to hold this base, although with not very much. He doesn't have a lot there to hold that base. Big drop coming through. Are there any Templar here? No, no Templar at all. Hydra Ling going to be dropped right on top of the cannons, which kills them quite quickly. Lurkers running up here. They will burrow. Does he have an Observer with this force? Oh my god, the Observer? There it is. Observer is there. Dark Swarm. 2 Dark Swarms, in fact, going to be thrown down. And a Lingzer will be making their way over here, but it looks like Motive is going to hold. He keeps this base alive for now. We'll be able to reestablish cannons over at that location. Let's get a mineral check Not a whole lot here at the third. Fourth still looking pretty good. Fifth base, very healthy patches over here at the bottom right as well. But Protoss almost has everything that they need at this point. They don't need a whole lot more than 5 bases to continue fighting until the Zerg is completely mined out. Even though he's got this 1 extra base here in the top left, even if Zerg mines this completely, there's still a world where the Protoss player gets too efficient and it doesn't end up working out for him. But if he kills this base, if Protoss takes over this base in the top left, then it's going to get... it's probably going to be a Protoss victory at that point. A lot of Lings coming out here. The Reavers are in the game now. The Reavers are going to be getting a lot of kills, I'm sure. Really tucking himself up in this corner. This is ripe for a plague. He just needs to get a Defiler over here as soon as possible. Plague is going to be critical, key component of this defense. Because of the Reavers, it's just very hard to run up and gun down the Reaver with so much armor. Can he actually get the Plague? There it is. Plague goes down, not able to sweep up those Reavers into the shuttle in time. And so we're going to see another Plague here, most likely, on the back line. Can he go for it? Big Plague. There it is. The huge Plague comes down. That shuttle is still very high on HP, so it's not going to be taken down for now, but he's got to keep juggling these Reavers if he wants to keep them alive. They will pop very quickly with only 2 HP. Continuing on with more and more Plagues. Dark Swarms as well. Trying to block the army from making its way up the ramp. It's kind of funny. Looks like those Lings will end up getting taken down, though. DT trying to make its way forward. That's not going to work out too well, but he might get the... Okay, never mind. No Defiler swipe there. No kill on that. Having some Scourge down here is very important. Some choice Templar drops, some high Templar drops. Could start to ruin Effort's day here. He's got some great mining going with 69 drones. But we could see that drone count get absolutely wiped out in just a few short seconds by some well-placed Templar drops. Here comes the attack now through the middle of the map. Changing his target here. Moving through the middle. He's going to try and... Oh, can he get this Reaver? No, Reaver stays alive in the back line. It wasn't the Plagued Reaver. So it does manage to keep itself alive. Plague, Dark Swarm. Plaguing on the Archons. Probably not the best idea. 27 kill Archon right there. Quite a few of these Defilers go down. Over at the south side. He's on top of the rally point right now. Getting right on top of this. Lurkers coming up from the south. Must be those defensive Lurkers. Can he get a good burrow here? Oh my gosh. The Archons ripping them apart. That was some of the worst trading you can ever have. But he gets a bunch of Reaver kills on the backside. 3 Reavers have gone down. One more Reaver right there. Looks like that'll fall as well. Good target fire there from Effort. These 2 Nidus Canals are probably going to end up falling here shortly. Making a Lurker egg there. And it seems like Motive is actually going to back off. He's still got the big count of Archons. So as long as he keeps this core army of Archons alive, he has a very solid base with which to bring Reavers up to reinforce. Gonna go ahead and bring some more forward, I imagine, here soon. Staying on top of the rally point for Effort. Making it hard for him to conjoin his army. Here comes the Storm Drop. Storm Drop over here at the bottom right-hand corner. Quite a few drones end up falling there. Guardians are going to be made to try and harass that bottom right base, but he's in trouble. He's in danger of getting broken over at this natural. In fact, not a lot of stuff here. What, 5 Lurkers and a few Hydras were all that was stopping Motive. Maybe he could have pushed in and broken the natural. That's a possibility, I think, but instead he backs off, waits for another round of reinforcements. Maybe now is the time. Pick up that Reaver and go for the throat. Try to get in to that relatively undefended natural. Here we go. Lurkers burrowing under Dark Swarm here. We're probably going to see a Plague as well. He does have the energy for that. That is such a ball of Protoss that would be amazing to hit with a Plague. Not able to do it right now. Bringing Reavers up. He's already got 2 Reavers over here, so I'm surprised to see him bring all the Reavers over to that base to try and save it. Whoa, no observers here. Uh-oh. Observers are missing and some Archons go down. That was a little bit rough. Motive having a bit of a hard time keeping his observers alive here in the late game. Great Plague hits a bunch of these Reavers, 2 of them, in fact, eating the brunt of that. Retreating with the remaining Archons. Not too bad. He's still got a lot of Archons here. I wonder if it would be any good to build some shield batteries to start repairing those up. They are going to regain that shields on their own, but it takes a long time. 350 seconds before the Archon can fully regain its shield. Some Guardians over here. Looks like they've been doing a little bit of work, but it sure is hard to get any sort of efficiency out of those units. You're just trying to bait out storms for the most part. You can do something like this a little bit later on. You can see he's still got 2 storms, though, on this high ground from 1 Templar. And so we'll be able to push everything back. The Zealot's just buying so much time here, and the Templar raining down that storm, making it impossible to break that high ground. Not a lot of lurkers down here in the bottom right. This is actually a very undefended base. Very hard to keep that alive right now. Getting kind of aggressive here. Effort moving forward. He's not happy with the current game state. Wants to get some kills on maybe one of these bases. This lurker will go down super fast. Those Scarabs do not care at all about Dark Swarm. And so he may be able to break that. Or he could break the center left. There's so many different locations that are kind of undefended right now. Effort bringing up all of his forces, but that is so many Archons, guys. 4 Reavers. And what is this? 10 Archons? That is a lot of DPS. He's also got 2 plasma shields as well. Oh my goodness. Counterattack is going to be the choice here from Effort. Not a lot of money left at this base, so he could probably long distance mine that later on if he needs to, if it comes down to it. Coming in to break up this base in top left. He cannot be losing this one, I tell you. This base is absolutely critical. He's going to run a lot of these drones away, trying to keep them alive, but there's got to be like 40 drones over that location. Oh my gosh, a lot of those go down. We've got 49 drones remaining. He's still mining down here. He's about to lose just about everything. You got to run this direction, try to get away with the drones. There we go. He will make that run. The main base is starting to go down for Motive. He's still got 6,000 minerals in the bank, though. 6,000 minerals is a lot to work with. Let's see what he ends up doing with it. Can't just start to make Reavers absolutely everywhere. And Effort is really going to be struggling right now. Reavers are going to be brought back. Try to save this base if he can. Getting the Lynx right underneath the shuttle. Make sure that he can deal some damage to those right as soon as they pop out. Plague on all the Reavers and the shuttles. That's a big Plague, making a huge difference in this next fight. Diving on top of these Reavers now. Can he get the kills on these? Very hard to actually kill those off. And so most of the Reavers will survive. Still 3 Reavers left alive. That Defiler going to fall as well. Lurkers pushing forward here. And we are starting to get some long distance mining over in that top left-hand corner. Looks like Motive going to move some forces to defend there. Something going on over here. Okay, Scourge are actually trying to stop the shuttle from getting in. Oh, he's going to get it. Nicely done. Realizing that Motive stopped paying attention to that shuttle. Manages to pick it off. There was, I think, an Archon and 2 High Templars in there. I just got a brief glimpse of that as it was going down. And now we're in a very weird situation. There's really not a lot of production going on for Motive. He can't really make anything. He's at 99 open supply. He's going to start to add a bunch of pylons over in this top left. He's got so much minerals. He can make, 10 cannons up here, no problem. 1,500 minerals. That's chump change. for Motive right now. Looks like long distance mining is happening here for Effort, who can fully produce, but doesn't quite have the money to do so. And he's wondering what exactly he should be purchasing right now. Needs to get some really key snipes on some of these shuttles. Prevent the... Oh, Lurker's dying for free. That's not good. That's not what you want to do. Can he get the Observer? Oh, he might be able to get a shuttle. Oh, Observer. He gets the Observer. That's big. Observer going to be stopped here. Observer getting stopped. Pretty big deal. Pull that Lurker back. Looks like he might be out of range. Oh, where's the Observer? How is he getting hit there? Not sure. Must have been an unburrowed Lurker. Running up now. Gonna try and kill this robotics facility. Kill the robotics. Oh, wait. Are there any more robotics? There's one down here. He needs to make Observers. Wait, the Observer snipes are huge. The Lurkers are actually going to do some amazing damage now. Actually needs to run up and start sniping the shuttles, but these Reavers under Dark Swarm are kind of unbeatable. With no Lurkers in range, you can just drop those Reavers down. And they can take care of all the Hydras. This is an insanely good defensive position. My God. You would not want to try to break in there. But he can come forward. He can try to snipe these Reavers now. Go for the Reaver. Can he get it? Reaver's almost going down here. One of them does fall. Going after this other Reaver in the back line. Can he get it? This Reaver, oh my gosh, it's so close. Needs some Scourge to pair with this so he can actually snipe down the shuttles. Hasn't been able to do so, though. We're down to 110 supply. There's an Observer finally coming forward. Can he snipe it? Not able to get that. Can he get one of the shuttles? No, having a very hard time doing that. We'll be able to deny this third upgrade. The third Plasma Shield upgrade is kind of hilarious. Still 4,000 minerals in the bank. He will kill the Observatory. Another robotics has been made. Look at all the Reavers he has queued up, and he's still got 3,000 minerals left. That is crazy. 5 Reavers queued. Because he knew he was going to lose this robotics support. I thought he was going to lose this robotic support bay eventually, but so far that hasn't happened. Here comes the Scourge. Can he get the kills? Big kills there, I think. Maybe 2 Reavers went down in that shuttle. That's massive. Now he can kill the Reavers, no problem. Big storms go down to get rid of these Lurkers coming from the flank. But you know what? That was pretty worth. All the Reavers are dead. 900 minerals still here for Effort. But he can't really allow this base to get mined out. He has to retake this. You can see with 3,000 minerals in the bank, and now the mining's going to start to go down over in top left. It's a little bit untenable, and GG is finally called. Effort taps out. He knows he's beat. And Motive going to win this game. Whoa, this was a intense late game macro ZVP, guys. Very difficult to break some of these bases. You can see the positions that Motive had. I really like the idea there, late game, after killing the main, getting rid of all the tech, running around and trying to snipe Observers, and then get good trades with burrowed Lurkers. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's just there were so many cannons everywhere, giving that detection. Trying to break into these bases is incredibly hard, and the juggling from Motive was honestly almost Snow tier. Like, nobody quite competes with Snow in terms of juggling those Reavers. Nobody's quite that good. But this was some very good control, nonetheless, from Motive, keeping those Reavers way at the back here, getting as much value out of them as possible, even after they've been plagued. Still able to get that little bit of extra juice out of them. Too many Templar here at the end of the game. You can see just so many Templars, so many Storms left over, and not enough money here for our Zerg player to compete. I'm not sure if there was one final Storm drop or something at the end of that game. Let me just go back and check it. Well, this is an incredible game. That was kind of crazy watching everything disappear here. I think he was still okay. Yeah, I don't think he lost these drones, but the money was just about to run out. Let me just take a look. 34 drones left. And yeah, this is such a difficult task, trying to get rid of these bases, shut down these bases again. Just such a pain. Managed to skirt through the middle of the map and keep these shuttles alive for such a long time. And yeah, it doesn't seem like anything happened to this base, but the money was running dry. Effort was running out of tools at his disposal. He was really close in the overall supply. But coming down these ramps and trying to get on top of a base with this many cannons and this many Templar, it's disgustingly hard. You have to spend so many resources to make that happen. And in the meantime, he's going to be sucking up all the last few drops of minerals at this base, piling up that bank higher and higher, and making it inevitably just impossible for Effort to break through. Guys, thank you so much for watching this ladder battle, Effort versus Motive. It was a blast, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more content. Definitely check out the streams as well. I've been practicing quite a bit on stream every day at about 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Almost every day. I've been trying to get out there, but you know, some days maybe a little hungover from hanging out with Urbon or whatever. I've taken a few breaks, but I'm really trying to get back into the swing of things and do lots of ladder practice and improve my ZVP especially. And I've also been playing some games on the new maps, the new ASL maps, ASL 20 maps with fans. And so if you want to try that out, if you want to come out and play some games against me on the new maps and just give them a test, I would love to do that. So come on over to the stream. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.